So my name's Alice Thompson and I am co-founder of Social Bite.
Tell us a bit about the Social Bite business.
Okay, Social Bite is a sandwich shop chain, currently in the central belt of Scotland and soon to be in Aberdeen and Dundee too. The difference between us and our competitors is that we are a social business. So that means that we give 100% of our profits to charity and a quarter of our staff are always sourced from formerly homeless backgrounds.
When did you first become interested in the concept of social business or social enterprise?
2011. It was myself and my partner at the time, Josh. We were thinking about going into different businesses together. We'd been sort of running an events company that Josh had started together for a few years. And Josh got his hands on a book by a Nobel Peace Prize winner called Professor Muhammad Yunus, and was really inspired by his concepts, which he defined as social business. And he sort of laid out in his book exactly what that meant. And yeah, that's when we became aware of it.
Let's rewind a little bit, if you may, and talk about your growing up, your childhood, and any particularly memorable times or experiences.
To be completely honest, it's just a really cheesy answer. I just remember seeing Live 8 when Bob Geldof did the whole concert all over again, and I remember just being like mesmerized by that. Like I couldn't believe what I was seeing, and I just felt like this urgency ever since I was a teenager. Since then, I had that sort of social conscience instilled in me through Bob Geldof on the television. I also have, so a lot of my family members are fairly sort of left-wing, you could say. So I was sort of inspired by some things that people around me were doing anyway. So I did grow up with a bit of a social conscience, I think.
Now you've got a really successful business on your hands. What have been some of the most challenging aspects of bringing that to life?
The shops that we run, they do something called a suspended service, and that is where any customer can come in and buy any item on the menu for a homeless person. We print the receipt and pop it in a bucket, and then the homeless community can come in and claim a receipt, pick whichever receipt it is that they want to claim the item for. So that's our suspended service. So certainly that was quite challenging, trying to draw the lines and the parameters of, we have to run this business, it can't be a drop-in zone for the homeless. At the same time, we want to be the ones to break the mold of the way that we as a society deal with homeless people. We want to treat them with respect and we don't want to kick them to the side.
During this journey of 3 or 4 years from the point of the first idea to actually creating this business, has your sense of yourself changed?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think hopefully, touch wood, I'm a lot less selfish now. And yeah, it does a lot to you. It also teaches you that you don't need as much sleep as you think you need. You have more energy than you think you have. So yeah, it's definitely taught me a lot about myself. It's given me structure. It's taught me about my own levels of motivation. Yeah, and hopefully made me a less selfish person.
What frustrates you?
People be rude to one of the suspended service users, one of the homeless community. Seeing someone on the street be rude to someone that I know because they come in. We do, on Tuesday evenings, we do a social suppers evening, which is where we reopen the shop and all of the sandwiches and hot meals and things that haven't been sold throughout the day, they get taken over from Rose Street as well, and they all get used here to provide food for homeless people. They come in, they sit down, and it's a bit of a drop-in zone. There's a few homeless charities here to provide support and information on accommodation or addiction therapy. So if they want to come to that evening, have some food, have a coffee, and look at the options of maybe changing their lives in some small way, then they can do that. So if I become familiar with one of the homeless people through that evening, and then I see them a couple of days later on the street and someone being rude to them, or they'll ask for change and someone will be like, get a job, or something. I really don't have time for that. I think that's really lazy thinking and really selfish and like in your own bubble.
Looking ahead now, what's your sense of future possibilities for either yourself personally or for this business or more generally?
So we open in Aberdeen next month, and we open in Dundee hopefully before the end of the year, maybe going into early next year. Once that's done, that's our Scottish model complete. We'll have 6 shops and 2 concession units, maybe even another concession unit. And at that point, it'll be quite exciting to make the model work, make it financially stable, make it socially effective, get it sort of perfected, and then point to that model and see if anybody wants to do it somewhere else. Like maybe we could go to London and do the same thing in London, or someone else might come to us and say, can I take your branding and take your concept and go and do it in London or overseas somewhere? That idea has been talked about occasionally. Whether or not me and Josh will have the energy to do it, I don't know, but it's certainly an option. It's something exciting to think about. And personally, I want to hone my business skills and abilities over the next year or two while the company is reaching its maturity, and either stay with the company and make it wonderful, or I definitely see myself taking that traveling time that I never took. I want to go somewhere sunny for a little while and then maybe come back to Social Bite. Or I've flirted with the idea of starting a charity or something. I don't know, but there's definitely, there's a lot of options now, which is nice. Whereas I think if I had stayed at uni and studied event management, I would probably just be looking for a job with event companies right now. So I'm definitely glad that I took this route.
Alice, thank you very much indeed for giving us your time. Thank you.
Thanks, thank you.